Hi guys, my name is Katya and welcome to my channel. I have been working as 3D artist for more than 5 years now, and I've decided to create this channel to show you some of asset creation processes, to share with you all those little tips and tricks I learned, and to create something interesting and helpful for you to watch with your morning coffee. Today's episode is a speed sculpt of the Arcane character Caitlyn. I hope you will enjoy it. So, being a fan of the show, I made some Zbrush sculpts of the different characters and probably will make much more because I cannot get tired of that style, it's so cool. As always, I start with a sphere and develop a nice looking face shape out of it, step by step. I don't start with projecting reference images onto my Zbrush screen. Maybe this technique works for some artists, but for me, on early stages of the sculpting, it's still just a distraction and I find it harder to create a decent form using this method. I prefer to get a nice overall head shape by eye first. I can check references from time to time, but I never project the image onto the screen. Not at this stage. I add two symmetrical eyes right away. It helps with sculpting the head. Generally, I just go further with sculpting face features, checking image and anatomy references as needed. Important part is to rotate constantly around the model, working on it from all angles. If you keep your screen all the time locked in front of the face, then you would totally screw up the side view and have to redo all those nice details you got. She's not my favorite character, but I find her appearance so interesting. She doesn't have any fancy gear or weapon or any unusual accessories, but she has such unusual face features, what makes her appearance so memorable and eye-catching. So, usually I sculpt some emotionless faces, but since it's just a practice, I can go all crazy and add a bit of emotions. For Caitlyn, I decided to make a bit sad look. That's the one she got most of the screen time anyway, so it helps with recognition. I don't add ears or neck right away, though for some artists it's not a way to go, but I find it harder and more important to get the face features right first. Not the high level of detail, but some decent general face shape. And when it looks about right, I add ears and neck. Why? Well, most of my models are going fast nicely. With some of them I feel like I have been stuck for too long on the same spot, or redo a lot, or maybe I don't like how it looks right away. In that case I just delete it and start over. This helps me to work much faster and feel better the anatomy and forms. So if I add ears and neck too early, before I made anything good with basic head shape, I will have to delete it all and redo. And now it feels a little bit like too much wasting. I didn't go too much with details on ears, since they will be hidden under the hair. This time I decided to make hair as one mesh. I masked hair, extruded it, and used it as a hair base. Making hair as one mesh looks amazing with straight hair and fit perfectly to stylized projects. I don't use it with realistic characters though. It feels a bit out of place with high details realistic sculpts. I add just few separate strokes so it will look a bit more like hair. I used hair curve brush for that task. And then I add details to the shape, some flowy connected strokes similar to work with clothes. When I'm done, I take care about topology. I duplicate subtool, use remesher, and then bake details from my detailed subtool, adding divisions when needed. This way I get nice topology easy and fast. This time I decided to sculpt eyebrows on the head instead of adding separate subtool. This time I also decided to add some clothes. Sometimes I make just a head sculpt, but if I feel like it, I add a bit of clothes and accessories to it. Making clothes in ZBrush was a bit of a challenge to me first, since I'm used to model it in Blender or simulate it in Marvelous. With a bit of devotion, I got used to it, but still prefer polygonal modeling for most of hard surface accessories. So I add a color, bend it with a deformer transform, and then add small details. I checked few brushes and I liked how close pull worked, so I just used it first and then added more details with pinch. I often test different brushes for unusual details, so it's worth to spend some time to step out of the main 5 brushes you use and look for something new. After I'm done with the shape of the color, I use contrast deformation to add a bit of crispiness to it. Then I just unhide other subtools, fit my collar to the neck and add a tie. I didn't like any of the closed brushes this time, so I used classic dim, move and trim brushes. I added next detail, fit the color into it, and make a hole with a boolean. I could leave it without hole, but I don't like the look of that unrealistic intersection. Then I just create next details in the similar way, using classic ZBrush brushes and basic shapes. This jacket collar I made with a torus as well. Cut a hole in it, made it manifold with close holes tool, and also used zero measure for better topology. For making this neat detail around the collar, I used polygroups and frame mesh, then applied basic curve brush to it. As always, I adjust the elements so they will fit nicely to each other without any ugly intersections. As a final touch, I added some sharpness to the face. It doesn't look realistic, but I like how it emphasizes the artistic hand paint textures the original show has. And that's it. I hope this video was interesting for you and maybe even helped with understanding the process. Tell me what you think and don't forget to like and follow.